People want me to get killed as well, so what?
He lives there, Nagus. Like, literally, I was talking about how Israel has killed, so many, like, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, I don't know, he says crazy things. Like, it's just, this is very normative, Nagus. I don't know what to tell you.
No, I know, but why did Caleb say that to Benjamin?
Because this is Clubhouse.
Because
Caleb got excited. That context?
Yeah, what was the context?
Because Caleb calls Benjamin an anti-Semite, that he hates all Jews, and he wants all Jews to be gone from the planet. That's
over
why.
An article?
Yeah, it's over a long back and forth bickering between the two of them. This has been going on for years.
I think they're really upset that this is written in their book. I think
it's
they're
not written in the book, actually.
Actually, to be fair, the rabbi didn't make any references to scripture. It seems like
he's a Talmudic rabbinical. Go ahead, Marion.
Oh, he is?
Yeah, he's their own.
He's a conservative. He's a conservative rabbi.
Yeah, so if you're into the Talmud, then hey. Like, it's in there.
But as I said, in every religion, they want other religions to be servants, right? They see themselves. This is common within every religion. So if your point is that religion is a fucked up concept, then you're right, yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is that Jewish, rabbinical, blah, 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 they've been trying to hide
and then you got a bar of Bitcoin over here
like
with this motherfucker.
And now,
okay, so it's a little bit of a business lesson. Okay, if you're gonna give me $150,000, I'm gonna make no money on it, and I'm gonna exchange you a gold bar. And then if you give this dumpster
about what is written in the and people don't like that. Or they want to minimize it, or they want to, every religion is like that. Like, how many times
life of an cool breeze, warm.
Oh shit! You can't make this stuff.
So this is what my friend PhD is saying, right? Rabbi Dovlior, a prominent. Okay, let's go back to Rabbi Yosef. As Israel's Sephardic chief rabbi and son of Obadiah
Hey, the life of an emperor.
he echoed similar sentiments in 2016.
Easy down there, that's royal property. Soup on a Tuesday. Hey, that's not the hot tub. He's not invited either. Hey, the life of an emperor. Cool.
The 7 Noahide laws, and those who remain are there to serve Jews. Oh shit. Rabbi Lior says a prominent religious Zionist rabbi, a chief rabbi of
the Kitover Diamond Wholesale.
Arba Hebron.
The Kitover Diamond Wholesale, where Sparkle means a discount.
For something affordable. Gentle
You just made my day. Check out this beauty one full curves. The Kitover Diamond Wholesale, where Sparkle means a discount.
Gentile sperm leads to barbaric offspring and endorse supremacist texts like Torah HaChamatek, which discusses harsh treatment of them. Then again, you have, it keeps going on and on. PhD, where are you finding these from?
The thing, Nagus, they try to point at Islamic verses, right? Like, they'll be like, Muhammad was a this and that, and, all these things. And then this is what is written in their own text. Like, you always want to talk about how crazy this religion is, but like this is what your religion talks about.
Yeah, so what PhD is saying is that this isn't a fringe opinion. This has been repeated by quite a few rabbis that exist today, have existed in very much the recent past. So that's what he's trying to sort of posit. This is a little
there is a quote by R.J. Rushdoony. He's the father of Christian Reconstructionism, and he has massive influence on the modern homeschooling movement and Christian political strategy. He said that he recognizes that some people are by nature slaves, and he's a major person in Christianity. So that is very, very alarming that somebody like this in recent times, like recently, says that some people are by nature slaves, and there are. There is another quote by Douglas Wilson. He's in Idaho. He's still active, and he's a leading figure in the Christian nationalism movement. And he wrote that slavery, as it existed in the South, was a relationship based on mutual affection and confidence. There has never been a multiracial society which has existed with such mutual intimacy and harmony in the history of the world, which is very, very problematic to say. Like, it is, yeah, and these are only Christian leaders. Like, also there are other imams who say that other religions. They call even today they call Christians and Jews as dhimmis with special inferior status, and this is this is shocking that we still have people like this even today thinking and being very loud with their opinions, with their shocking opinion.
Marius, you tricked me.
Do you want to open a room?
Yeah. Candace, you want to open a room?
No, you open a room.
She's okay, if I open a room, then
Open right now.
Benjamin, I think you've had this room open long enough, buddy.
Let's open a room.
Okay, Nargis, I can't do this room without you because you know I'm also obviously unhinged a little bit. So I need you to keep. Okay, great, fine. But okay, fine.
Come on, let's get killed today.
Sayla, if I close this room, maybe I'll join you.
Perfect, though.
Yeah, come on, you guys. Let's open a room. I think it'll be good.
That's what we wanted to hear. Nargis, hold on.
You can go open the room, and we'll put this topic to bed.
Okay.
Yeah,
What's your title going to be? Hey, ladies, what's your title?
Oh, it's the propaganda versus the people.
Propaganda. And who? Your house, Sayla? Sayla's house?
Yeah.
All right.
Sure, let's open up.
Right on that.
All right, here we go.
So Benjamin, I want to challenge you on you saying we're all Zoroastrian. I don't accept that.
Just real briefly, it goes something like, look, I'll get you the paper.
Not me.
Yeah.
I wouldn't include Shenga in that list, okay?
Well, because it says the idea that the world was created by God, although the profound dichotomy between good and evil, right? There are people that do bad things, people that do good things. That I accept. However,
I do bad
but it's still, it's still premised on a creator God, though, and I don't have that concept.
Before I leave, I want to just recite a few lines from the song Religion, sung by 10 Years After. I've actually performed this song with my band a long time ago. It's called Religion. Never really understood religion. It seems to be a good excuse to kill. Never really understood religion. I don't suppose I ever really will. It is nothing but a power structure where ego is the driving energy. I killed mine a long, long time ago, and this is why I'll always be free. All right, honeys. See you guys.
Thanks, Nargis.
See you, Nargis. Always a pleasure.
Yeah, thanks for turning me on that song and that band. Great song, great band.
James, I'm going to put this message just in your private because I'm going to close this room.
Okay, cool. Right on, dude.
This is a link to an article called We're All Zoroastrians, How Persian Empires of the Mind Touched All of Humanity.
All right, I got it.
I think it's a pretty good article explaining more or less what I'm talking about, but one very cool...
We speak. Yeah. So give me just a minute.
Hello? Hi.
Hold on. Okay. I just messaged Mary too. All right, let's ping. Let's go on a ping fest, Nagias. Ping fest. There she is. Boom. Now we got like the world's perfect mods. Shalom خانم خوشگل.
سلام عزیز دل چطوری؟
Not too bad, not too bad. I'm sure all of us are like just. Me and Nagus have been like crashing out on the app. You know, we're all on pins and needles because we don't know what the hell's happening, you know? But I'm sure you've been kind of the same.
We're all on pins and needles, 100%. We just, it's hard to live history one day at a time, and it's harder this time around than it was during the Women Life Freedom movement, I think.
Yes, I feel like at the beginning, kind of, like me and Nagus were talking about this, it was so hard for us to, I don't know, not to like maybe get going. Like there was a feeling, right, Mary, of like, I don't want to be disappointed again, right? Like I don't want to think that we're going to be there, we're almost going to be there, and then it not happen again. There was that feeling, you know? Did you have that too?
I was definitely a lot more cautious this time around to not get as excited and to project my excitement onto what's happening inside of Iran. 100%. I was a lot more self-aware this time around than the last time. But undeniably, this time around, things were very, very different. Especially after the call to action by Reza Pahlavi, things were very, very different this time around. And we saw it. We saw the results. Tens of thousands of people have been lost. So this had more fervor to it. And the big difference this time wasn't just that we said no to something, because during Women Life Freedom, we got to this collective agreement that no to the Islamic Republic, but we never said yes to anything else. This time around, even just as a trial, there was a yes to something else. And I think that's important. That's one of the things that made this time around a little different.
I wanted to pick your brain about that, and then you kind of told me. I was like wondering what you thought about that, you know, like how you felt about people rallying around Reza Pahlavi. I see. So let me tell you where I'm at, Mary. For me, and you know, I'm not speaking for Nagas, but other people have their own perspective, but for me, I don't really see another way. Like, yeah, I do see other ways, but they're not viable right now, right? The only viable thing that I do see is Reza Pahlavi, right? And I do. Let me see. How can I put this? Like he has the notoriety, the finances, everything that he needs to garner support and have people, propel him or whatever. So like, I see that like basically until another way presents itself, I'm not going to burn the only way that's presenting itself, right? I'm not gonna talk against, come up with like reasons not to. So this is what we got, and I'm gonna like support it, right? Like because this is all we have right now. But one thing that's concerning me, Mary, are some of the supporters of Reza Pahlavi. They're the ones that are scaring me shitless, Mary, with their behavior and their attitude.
You're not
like,
alone. Yeah, you're not alone. let me just say something to you that might ease your mind a little bit. Don't forget that we are only exposed to the diaspora. And what is happening inside of Iran is very, very different from what we see out in the diaspora. I don't really want to get involved in like dissecting like what is happening, but there is definitely a large portion of Reza Pahlavi's supporters that are behaving more like his enemy than his friends, because for better or worse, and even if it's out of desperation, right now he seems like the viable option we're at least willing to try. And if they are the winning narrative and the ones that have the power, their full focus should be on actually absorbing people like you and I, right? But instead, what they're doing is they're holding a ruler at the door called Javi Shah, saying, if you don't say this, you don't get to enter. And that by itself is eliminating, and that by itself is the behavior of the Islamic Republic, which we are trying to change. So if we are objecting to that behavior, if we're objecting to the behavior that makes you the other and then eliminates you from the conversation, then this opposition is no different from the position. The position and the opposition have become one and the same. And in some ways, we would just be changing clothes. We would be changing the Aba Ammame for Taj Chanel. And that's not what we want. We are not looking to change clothes. We are looking to change the system. And I think one of the things that, again, makes me a little dubious about Reza Pahlavi himself is that he doesn't seem to have the influence on his own followers to make him follow what he said. He recently came out and said, hey, stop calling me King Pahlavi. You can call it Nizam Pahlavi. You can call it the Pahlavi administration. That's very different from King Pahlavi, because we haven't had the referendum. There hasn't been the vote of the people. I have not been ratified by a parliament. So to make this a foregone conclusion is going to look like we're forcing an option down the throat of people who haven't had a chance to voice their opinions yet. And that his followers don't follow him, you still hear people chanting King Reza Pahlavi at these rallies. And I think they're doing him a massive disservice by actually not listening to him. I understand the anger that motivates a lot of this behavior. Do I think it's valid? Absolutely not. And I think it's counterproductive to what we're doing somewhat out of desperation. Sorry, I'm talking too much. I don't know why you made me like that.
Mary, like, my heart is singing, because it's like we haven't talked at all, and like we're just the same. We're twins, and that like makes me really happy. Like, it's just like everything that you're saying, I've been saying in other rooms, I'm in agreement with. So this is exactly why I pinged you in the room. I don't know if you noticed, I have the propaganda versus the people, and there's a lot to discuss, right? Like,
our narrative is getting stolen from us.
Yes.
So hard, which I think that is probably the most painful part of watching what is happening. I watch each different interest group, the left, the right, the west, the east, all put their own versions of what they want onto the story of the people who lost their lives. And that makes me feel like that is a huge disrespect to the lives that we have lost. And it makes me really, really fucking angry, because the people who lost their lives didn't lose their lives for a king. They didn't lose their lives for the Palestine movement. They didn't. It is not the story of their lives and their wants and their desire and their bravery is not what is being jacked up to be. And they were not Zionists. They were not outside influences. They were not. None of this is true. And it feels like the truth doesn't matter. Power speaks, narratives speak, and it really doesn't matter what the people of Iran want when you look at it from like 10,000 foot view. Because if I look at what happens inside of Iran, that's a completely different story. Then I look at the Iranian diaspora and I go, you guys are on a different planet. Like, what you are saying and what I'm hearing out of Iran are two completely different things. And then you get outsiders coming in, the Palestine supporters, people who I've been supporting for 2 years, are all of a sudden coming into my comments calling me a Zionist. That is such a cognitive dissonance right now that I just can't. I don't get it. I don't get how self-interest can completely blind people to the truth. So it tells me that it doesn't matter what information we put out there. It matters what people want to see, and they don't see the truth. They only see what they want to see, and they see their own self-benefit. They don't really want to see the truth, and that's very sad.
Like, I can't even believe you, Mary. You haven't even been around, and you're so in the loop. So you must have been going through this on TikTok then as well.
Oh, 100%. I haven't been on this app, but I've been very active on TikTok, and yeah. از همه طرف بهم خیلی لطف شده.
از همه طرف.
دلم برم ریدن شده.
ببین یعنی یه جوری از اینجا رونده از اونجا مونده شدم، دارم به ایرونی بودن خودم شک میکنم تا این حد.
وای وای وای.
مثل اتاق چیز تهران.
I don't know what you said, but it sounds cool.
I'm saying that I've been called so many different names within the same hour that I'm starting to
that
have
sucks. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's not cool.
Because, like, 1 minute I'm a Zionist, the other minute I'm an agent of the Islamic Republic, the next minute I'm a member of the MEK, the next minute I'm a monarchist, the next minute, like, it literally changes by the minute. And I'm getting to I'm glad that I went through the training through Clubhouse and the other with the Gina movement, because otherwise I would have doubted who I am as a person. But they're getting me to the point where I'm doubting I'm even Iranian. Like it's getting bad.
Head would have exploded.
Mary, you're Zoroastrian.
I am.
Oh my goodness.
Mary is, yeah. I was like, wait, what are you talking about? Oh, yeah. Mary's into it for sure. She loves it.
Mary, I don't know how hard your day is. Sounds like you had a hard day, but I have to say I had a pretty hard day. Somebody told me that they wished I were dead today.
Oh, I get 10 of those a day. So
You guys know who marches, right? Has a March primary. Be careful.
Oh, you don't have to be careful. I love these beautiful women. دلم برم خیلی تنگ شده.
I'm upset you're in timeout still until you fix your
Well, you can't police evergreen video footage. I'm trying to make a point. What are you doing? Are you actually doing action? Are you doing anything other than just running your mouth? I'm asking you, what's your objective?
That's rude, Kitover.
No, he's actually probably playing a replay. It didn't even sound real.
It's John Kitover for Congress. Vote for John Kitover. What's this Adrian Dittman doing? Adrian Dittman.
So, Mary, one of the main reasons of opening the room is I'm going through the same thing you are. So, you know that I very much think that Israel has done. I believe everyone has the right to be free. The Palestinian people, they deserve to live a life that's free, and they have rights as well, and I believe that. And so I've been alongside a lot of the pro-Pali movement, a lot of people that have been pro-Pali. Now those same people are turning to me and looking at me saying this is all just Mossad propaganda, and it makes me want
to hear the funniest part of the cognitive dissonance with that. Throughout the entire Gaza ordeal, they kept telling us Mossad is liars, Israel is lying. If it comes out of their mouth, it's not reliable. All of a sudden, Mossad is tweeting about a covert secret operation happening live in Iran, and all of a sudden their word is gospel. What the hell happened? How did we do a full 180 U-turn of these people cannot be trusted with anything they say to all of a sudden everything they say is gospel?
And so me, I'm like telling them, right, number one, first of all, is that when there was a Zionist propaganda going out, and a lot of my Persian people, they fall for that. They're eating that up, right? I listened to the people. I listened to what the Palestinian people were saying. I did my research, and I came to understand and learn a lot of things. But now, my people are telling you something, and you're not believing believing us when I believed you, and now you are going and saying that this is propaganda. And here's the crazy part. I told them, I said, listen, maybe it is in their interest for this government to fall. It is in their interest. Maybe they even are doing stuff on the inside. But one thing I need you to know is that my people don't need any convincing and coercion. They don't need any push to hate this government more than they already do.
Today we're
It's not like the outside people are coming in and trying to trick us.
The resistance to the removal of the IRGC by not just the Palestinians, but also the Islamist groups. I mean, I'm getting this stuff starting from North Africa all the way to India. Like, it's not just one group that is coming and saying this stuff, but they're saying it out of self-interest, right? It is not aligned with their interest for an Islamic state to fall, specifically for the IRGC, because wrongly they believe these people supported them.
Here's another thing. I have a hypothesis. I want to see what you think. I really think some of it is our fault. And let me tell you what I think is our fault. Because
criminal.
The same way Palestinians.
But here's the other thing that I think is also our fault, right? Because this government has said in the name of Islam, and then boom, hit them in the head, and said this is in the name of Islam, boom, hit them in the head. Our people have found a huge allergic reaction to anything that is, labeled under the umbrella of Islam. So what happens is that you have these Iranians, right? Our folks, they come on these apps, they're in real life, they're everywhere, uncles, people we know, and push me that her ke Islam, right? And so what they do is they say things like, we had some guys, like, anything that's wrong in the world is because of Islam. This is what they say, okay? When you do that, let's say you have 5 billion Sunni Muslims who don't even like this government, right? You have now made it in their mind that this is like a war against Islam. Like, you have literally tricked them yourself into thinking that like you are a hater towards anyone Muslim, right? And now people that could have been on your side don't even know what to do anymore because you've gone Ziyad,
Yeah, I get it. But as Islam, do you know where the word Islamophobia came from?
Tell me.
The Islamic Republic is the one that created the word because they started making any criticism of the government criticism of Islam and therefore invalid. So we are the ones who created the word Islamophobia and then started propagating it everywhere. So it's kind of funny that it's coming back to bite them in the behind. But I think we have a lot of displaced anger as the Iranian diaspora. We are highly traumatized and we are bleeding all over all kinds of people. It's because we have been so traumatized by our own government, and so whatever they have used as an excuse, we use as a weapon against them. So what we really want, what our freedom movement is all about, is secularism. Yeah, so it's the division and removal of any religion from governance. So it's not that we are anti-Islam. We shouldn't be. It's that we are against any involvement of any kind of religion within governance. That is the only way to actually respect all religions. Because if you really want to have a freedom of religion, you cannot have a state religion. Because then, by definition, anybody who does not follow the state religion, it becomes a minority and their rights can be removed. So the only way to respect any religion, including Islam, properly is to remove it from governance. Because then it belongs in people's hearts, in people's homes, and in their places of worship. It does not come into the street, and it definitely does not come into the laws of the land. That's what we are after. The problem is we are so pissed off with this government that
we take our anger out on other groups, including Islam, including Palestinians, because we feel like our government has misappropriated the funds that should have put food on the tables of our people and have spent it in places they shouldn't have. And instead of being mad at the IRGC and focusing our anger there, we are allowing some of this anger, some of the steam to escape to other people, the Islamist groups, the Palestinians, the whatever it may be. So I think that's what the issue really is, that we have a lot of misplaced anger and we don't recognize where it should go. Because if we were to actually concentrate all of this anger instead of on Arabs and Muslims and Afghans and Palestinians and so on and so forth, and Hashd al-Shabi and whoever, we hate a lot of people right now. But it's if we took that and instead of focusing it on all of these different places and releasing some of that energy, if we focused it on the we wouldn't need the American army or anyone else.
Mary, last night.
Apparently, I'm boring.
No, not at all.
No, not at all. Not at
One
all.
thing you're not is boring. Lala Layla asked me a question last night. She asked me, why are the Persians, why do most of them think that like Reza Pahlavi is the only answer or he is the answer? And I tried to answer the best that I could. I said, different people have different reasons. And I gave her the different reasons that people have for supporting him. Could you answer that, Mary? She's on the outside looking in.
Hardware store for boxes, screws, and the clerk says people like you ought to stick to knitting. Can you believe that?
Given a particular perspective and doesn't have the perspective of us as Persian people. So what would you answer her, Mary, to that question?
The easy 1,000-foot answer is desperate times call for desperate measures. That's the easiest, the most logical answer I can give you. If you want me to dive a little bit more into kind of why this is our desperate measure, I can go into that. But the reality is that we're desperate. If we were not desperate, we would have the time to actually look for or allow for the people inside of Iran who have the capability of governance to come up and create political parties and this, that, and the other. Because that environment inside of Iran is not possible, we have no choice but to start some kind of movement outside. And the only figure outside of the country that has the celebrity pull, at least, if he's not charming, if he's not, I have a lot of criticism to what RP has been doing since 2022. You know this is not new. I was 100% out with it. I have had TikTok videos out about it, and this is part of the reason why the monarchists hate me so much, and they keep calling me a parastu, an agent of the IRGC, but we don't have anyone else with his notoriety and his connections. Is he the best person for the job? To be honest, I really feel like even if he was to go into Iran, he is very likely to be one of the first casualties of whatever freedom movement that is going to come. But again, desperate times call for desperate measures. The people inside of Iran who are saying Javid Shah are not necessarily saying it as a yes to monarchy, but rather one as a huge fuck you to Khamenei, because by calling the king that they overthrew, they are saying we rather. Sorry, this is gonna sound bad, but we rather eat the throw up that we had before than to keep you guys around. So I think it's one of the biggest ways to give a fuck you to the regime right now by recalling and saying long live the king. And the people who are saying Pahlavi bad, they're not necessarily saying that the king is coming back. They have decided, hey, he keeps saying, I don't want power, I don't want to become king, I don't have any political ambitions, I want to be the leader of the transition period, so let's give him a try. That's the point of the people on the street who went and died. They were not saying yes to the monarchy. And if you look at, but unfortunately, again, talking about propaganda, this narrative has been stolen and amplified, especially through Persian language media like Iran International. I'm not even going to talk about Manoto there. It's obvious what they're out there for. But other institutions like
Iran International has, for example, exaggerated the veracity or the extent of the support for Pahlavi by like 400%. So in comparison to what was really happening.
Yeah, so that's very insightful. And I'm beginning to kind of understand that there is a big difference between Iranians in Iran and the way that they perceive things and Iranians in the diaspora. And I also wanted to ask you a follow-up question, but I did want to say this first. The reason why I asked Sayla that question yesterday was because number one, as a Palestinian organizer, like I'm Palestinian, and as a Palestinian organizer, somebody who organizes for Palestine, we know, that, we have taken to the streets for the past 2 years, and when everything was happening in Iran, in Southern California especially, we had a big population of Reza Pahlavi supporters that reached out to Palestinian organizers and asked them if they would be able to help organize protests. And I found that to be very, what the heck? I was just really confused because these people, for the same reason, did not show up to any pro-Palestinian protests for the last 2 years, and then also on top of that, they're waving pictures of Benjamin Netanyahu with Reza Pahlavi side by side, and I understand from an Iranian's perspective in Iran, that makes complete sense to me that maybe it is the option of the lesser of two evils. Unfortunately, that's what usually happens in American elections as well. But that's the reason why I asked Sayla, because I was